some rough news coming out of the Manly Warringah Sea Eagles camp. Their main man, Tom Trbojevic, has been ruled out for the season. Yeah, that's tough. If you missed the game, Tom suffered an injury whilst saving a try. He dislocated his shoulder. I'll chuck a little bit of footage up, but yeah, sucks to see. Not only for Manly and their supporters, but for league in general. You hate to see one of the true superstars of the game sit out. As for the Sea Eagles, is this the end of their season? I want to go out on a limb here and say no. Do I think they'd win the premiership this season? Well, of course not. Respectfully, there's just too much of a skill gap between them and the true premiership hopefuls, you know, your Melbourne Storm and your Penrith Panthers. The Panthers are just out and out favourites at this point in the competition. And then you have the Storm, of course, but even the teams that are just below them, like the Parramatta Eels, you'd probably throw the Cowboys in there too now. Even the Broncos, as crazy as that sounds, I mean, they are in the top 4 as of right now. So I guess it isn't that crazy to throw them in amongst the Sharks, the Eels and all that. I guess it's just weird to say considering how bad they've been these past 2 years. Anyway, before we get off topic, do I think Manly can jag that 8th spot? I think they can, especially if they have a fit and firing Josh Schuster. I also reckon, as everyone's seen and as he's proven in the past, that Ruben Garrick will do more than enough to fill that Tom Trbojevic void. And just based off the form of their outer statesmen, you know, your Kieran Foran's and Daly Cherry Evans, they are both in, I wouldn't say career best form, but they're in probably the best they've been these past few years. Not only will this affect the Manly, coming up pretty soon is the State of Origin, and that is another huge loss for the New South Wales Blues. First they lose Latrell Mitchell, and now no Turbo as well. That's great news for Queensland, as both Turbo and Trell were arguably the most influential players that helped get the Blues the series win last year in 2 games. Remember, they wrapped it up in 2. Now the question is, who will replace Tom Trbojevic in the centres? For me, the fill-in's quite obvious. Assuming Kotoni Staggs was the one to replace Latrell Mitchell, Steve Crichton will most likely get the nod ahead of anyone else. I mean, I'm trying to think of who else would be in contention. Maybe Campbell Graham, Zach Lomax. That kid is just waiting for a big stage to shine on. And what bigger stage in the State of Origin? Now that would actually be pretty cool to see. You know he's got some highlights in him. Now I'm just assuming Staggs has the other centre on lock, considering that he's been missing out due to injury these past few years. They brought Crichton in these last couple of years. It'll be interesting to see who the Blues actually go with. There's no shortage of talent when it comes to New South Wales and their outside backs. So yeah, that's pretty much my 2 cents on the Tom Trbojevic incident, I guess. Unlucky for Tom, unlucky for Manly, but I don't think it's all doom and gloom for Manly. As for the Blues, I'll leave that to you. Who do you think will replace Latrell Mitchell and Tom Trbojevic for Game 1 of the State of Origin this year? Go ahead and have your say in the comment section down below. As always, we'll wrap it up there and I'll see you later on today for the State of Origin decider in our Dolphins career mode. As always, if you enjoyed that and would like to see more Rugby League related content or more content in general, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thank you for tuning in and I'll see you later.